What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round one. We have an amazing show for you here today. I gotta respond to my man BF and all his claims about Naoya Inoue officially ducking MJ, and I have to tell the people the truth. So you're not going to want to miss this episode here. Tune in, lock in, like the videos. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And like always, let's hop right into this video. My man BF had a lot to say about Naoya Inoue, and I found it really ironic that when it's convenient for him to spew his lies, he'll take sides. Meaning, he did a good impersonation of Bob Arum, and he said everything that Bob Arum said is lies. But all of a sudden, conveniently, when it's convenient for him, Ed Hearn speaks truth when he knows he's just as much of a liar as Bob Arum is. These promoters will do their thing to promote their fighter. He also talked about silly and things that really didn't have no significance about Alan David Picasso's alias. Like he ain't never heard nobody in the hood call themselves a different name. Like he made it sound like it was the strangest and weirdest thing he have ever heard in his life. And I'm telling you, when you hear these kind of things, you quickly realize that these guys have nothing to talk about. He broke down Alan Picasso's record, but what he failed to mention is how MJ got that mysterious #1 ranking. And we're going to talk about that here at Round One Sports TV. So we're going to bring up these fighters up on the board real quick. There's my man right here, Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue's 29 fights, 26 knockouts with no losses. Okay, he is 31 years old. He has 173 rounds experience with an 89% knockout ratio. He's 5'5" and a 67-inch arm reach. Now he is undefeated, so there will be no losses on this chart. When you look down the chart, you're going to notice these green block boxes that indicates your victories. If they're red, they will indicate a loss. The weight on this side is Naoya Inoue's weight right here. And the weight on this side right here, the weight on this side is Naoya Inoue's, and the weight on this side is his opponent's. Okay. So as we go down his list of just competition, straight competition, his last 4 fights, BoxRec does not recognize the WBA. It should be 4 world titles here. I just want to keep that in mind, so that as we're looking over the records, there is another belt that is missing for whatever business. The WBA and BoxRec, they're not getting along. They've taken him out of their ranking system. So his last 4 fights have been for 4 belts. Look at this. Truly remarkable stuff, right? Now, when he mentioned MJ and he compared him to Alan David Picasso, what he failed to mention to you and what he doesn't want you to know is that MJ, with his alias MJ, right, which David's name is like weird to him, but he's defending a guy with an alias that is a remarkable duck in 122. Now, it's no secret MJ avoided Stephen Kubo Fulton, fighters like Brandon Figueroa, like Luis Pantera Nari. He avoided all the smoke at 122. So BF decided to come to the aid in the defense of a well-known duck. That's what he decided to do. Now, in this right here, what BF talked about was honor and making your way up the ranking system the honorable way. He said that David Alan Picasso fought cab drivers and that he wasn't rightfully so the next man in line. Then he doubled down and gave you his what he believes the order of the belts are. He has no idea what the order of the belts are. And for him to come out and say that with no proof, it goes shows that he's speaking feelings over facts. Whatever he thinks and deems worthy in his head, because he has gotten to a point where that he is almighty. It's his word or nothing, right? So he says that David Allen Picasso is not worthy. Well, then let's talk about who MJ fought and how does he get this number one ranking. He fought Kevin. Kevin was 26-0 coming into that fight. But where are you ranked, Kevin, in the world? Right here, 59 in the world. Kevin is ranked number 59 in the world. So you beat a guy ranked number 59, and that automatically awards you a number one, a mandatory to Naoya Inoue's belt, fighting a fighter ranked number 59. You didn't fight anybody in the top 30, 20, 10, 5. Shit, not even in the top 40. You fought a guy ranked 59. So let's see what you did after that. Let's see who your last fight, Ricardo Espinoza, right? Let's look this guy up. He's ranked number 88 in the world. When BF is talking about how David Allen Picasso is not worthy, what's not worthy here is your fake number one mandatory claim to Naoya Inoue's belt. It's so bogus, in fact, that Naoya Inoue and his team, Bob Arum, won't even acknowledge it. They won't accept his trying to skip in line. Because what's truly happening here is that Naoya Inoue is fighting the more worthy opponent. Alan David Picasso is undefeated. And when he's breaking down the order of everything, he just feels like he's going to make the order that's convenient to his story. Had he did a little bit of homework, he would have saw that when he fought Luis Pantera Nari, that was a voluntary fight. It wasn't a mandatory for the WBC. They never lost their place in line. But since he does no homework in his head with this microphone, he's gotten like this God complex in boxing, where that he's the almighty, and whatever nonsense he wants to spew without facts, he's just gonna make up his own story. When the truth is right in front of you, if the WBA had real power and they were the next organization in line, they could strip Naoya Inoue. He has 4 mandatories to his belts. This is professional boxing. There are orders to things. The Boxing Athletic Committee has made rules. This is a regulated sport. This is not the Wild Wild West. It seems like it is at times, but it does have rules. And there are orders to things. 4 mandatories, but only 1 is valid. The other 3 boxing organizations could order the fight for their fighter. It's like petitioning for the fight. If this guy, for whatever reason, can't complete his obligation, then he could take the orders or whichever one is asking for the fight. He doesn't actually have to take a voluntary. A voluntary mandatory is some organization that use other words like order. That means voluntary. When a sanctioning body is in position, like we've seen in history, the IBF stripped Canelo Alvarez and Usyk. They were the next belt in line. They honor their ranking system. Although it's kind of confusing with all these belts, they do not function the same. Some of them have different rule structures. The WBA, you would think they have like a every year mandatory. It's like every 18 months or something. There's a little bit longer. The WBC doesn't really have like a ranking system. They have a 32 board members, and they elect who they deem worthy to fight for their belt. They say, this guy, he's going to be the next. Um, Even though they put up like a ranking system on the websites, and the website sorts it out for you, and the WBC does acknowledge like these guys number 1, 2, 3. So it looks like a ranking system. It really does. Its structure, though, is a 32 board members that vote. So although you could still be the number 3 guy, if you're not popular enough to fight for their popular belt, if you don't got the right promotion, sometimes you won't get that phone call. It's a little iffy in the WBC. The IBF caters to both sides of the street, the A side and the B side, and the WBO has a rule in their organization where that you can challenge the existing champion in the next weight division, right? Okay. One of BF's claims that it makes it official that Naoya Inoue ducked everybody at 112 is because he bypassed the whole weight division. But his concept and his analogy is weak at best. You can't say that about one fighter if you're not referencing every boxing situation. That would be double standards, and it would be you blatantly being biased. So you must be talking about all fighters when you're making this accusation to the champ, Naoya Inoue. So what BF is actually saying is Terrence Crawford is the biggest duck in all of boxing. Now, I don't know why BF will take shots at Terrence Crawford and Jamel Charlo, right? Because what did they do to him for him to be putting down such legendary fighters and champions? That he's going to blatantly come on and tell the boxing world that Terrence Crawford is the biggest duck in all of boxing. Why? If Terrence Crawford jumps over those 2 weight 3 divisions to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, according to what BF is saying, he ducked all the champions in those weight divisions. It's the same scenario. Terrence Crawford's a champion that's bypassing weight division to fight a champion. Naoya Inoue was a champion that bypassed one weight division to fight a champion. There's nothing different when Jamel Charlo jumped up to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. Then, as of right now, Jamel Charlo, the Black American superstar, BF is calling him one of the biggest ducks of all time. And I'm not cool with that. Why are you taking shots at Jamel Charlo and Terrence Crawford and men that jumped over divisions that officially makes them a duck? Because you can get a list of men that'll say they would have fought Terrence Crawford or Jamel Charlo in every division they jumped over. All those guys wanted the smoke. They wanted those lottery fights. Just like he's saying Naoya Inoue bypassed them because allegedly they wanted to fight him, which is all a bunch of lies. He hasn't had one proof, a shred of evidence, but I've brought you all the evidence here around One Sports Talk about what he said about Naoya Inoue's jump to bypass 112. He was forced to jump over 112 because Chocolatito would not fight him. He had 3 times to fight Chocolatito. He avoided him 3 times. These are all facts. There's video documents and receipts all over the websites. That Chocolatito himself and his team said Naoya Inoue wasn't a big enough name. That's why he fought on the Chocolatito's undercard. And even then he rejected a fight with Naoya Inoue next. Then Chocolatito loses. Then John Casamara gets stripped and suspended. Then MJ avoided everyone at 120, 122. He avoided Stephen Kubo Fulton, Luis Pantera Nari, everybody, Brandon Figueroa, everybody. And then he loses to Marlon Tapales. And to his triangle theory, that's weak argument too. Ain't nobody ever said because he beat that guy and he beat this guy that it makes him beating that guy. No, what we're saying is straight up. MJ is not on Naoya Inoue's level. He never has been. He never will be. We didn't use no triangle theory. We said straight up. he will bust MJ's ass. He talks just around in circles, nonsense, and no facts. Not a shred of evidence. But what Ed Hearn is saying. So now Ed Hearn speaks the truth. Well said from a boxing promoter trying to get your fighter the fight by fighting two guys not even ranked in the top 50. But your number one mandatory claim is valid. It's such a joke that Bob Arum and Naoya Inoue are not accepting it. All you want is your fighter, Ed Hearn, MJ, to get the sweepstakes fight. Without Naoya Inoue, Ed Hearn just wants to feed MJ to Naoya Inoue. And Ed Hearn said that he should be taken off the pound-for-pound list. Who the fuck is Ed Hearn? Now we got to take... What? He's a boxing promoter. His opinion has no over Naoya Inoue. A decorated champion. BF, what you need to do, I don't know what it is with your campaign with destroying one of the legends, and I don't know what it is with your campaign with disrespecting Terrence Crawford and Jamel Charlo and every man that's ever jumped over a weight division. You called all those guys ducks. But apparently you'll try to weasel your way out by saying, no, I didn't say anything about... No, you said exactly them. You can't use a double standard when you're explaining to your fans the rules and why things are in boxing. It must apply to everyone. I don't know why you're calling Manny Pacquiao a duck. I don't know why you're calling all these fighters ducks. But you need to stop talking about Terrence Crawford like that. So, BF, until you get proof to your false claims, please stop talking about our decorated, highly talented, generational talent as this man right here, Naoya Inoue. He is the truth. He's the real deal. And I can't wait to see him June 14th in Las Vegas with the fighter that is rightfully deserving. Alan David Picasso, undefeated, worked his way up the ladder, didn't fight cab drivers like your boy, ranked 88 in the world. Yet, he's rightfully deserving for a number one mandatory slot. Nah. Just like you and your boys' whole argument, it's all a smokescreen. So, fight fans, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace.